And we are back in the WHHI-TV Daily News. Well, it is going to be summer weather soon, and that means we're all going to be playing in the water. And to talk about some summer safety in the water is Dr. Don Plumley. He is the medical director for Orlando Health. Arnold Palmer, thank you for being here, Doctor. We appreciate it.
Having us.
So let's talk, I mean, obviously, safety is so important about the water, but why do we need to prioritize it, especially as we head into the summer?
It's that time of year we start to unfortunately start to see kids getting around water and whatnot. And drowning is super common. It's the most common cause of death in 1 to 4 year olds. So it's entirely preventable. And so we have some strategies we recommend for families to really be careful around water and try to make this a fun, safe summer for the kids.
Well, and you mentioned obviously that it is really scary for little ones. And oftentimes I think that drowning doesn't necessarily even look like what we think that it's going to look like. Is that true?
No, it's not the overly dramatic splashing in the beach or something. Unfortunately, the most common kids that drown are 1 to 4 year olds, and they just get away, a lapse of judgment, someone gets distracted, they slip in the water. And interesting, we're seeing more and more special needs children, especially kids on the autism spectrum, have a 40-fold increased chance of drowning. So both those kind of subgroups you really need to keep a close eye on.
And so I understand you have something called the ABCs of safety that we can kind of keep in mind as we're going through our summer.
Yeah, we do this with all our families. We just try this time of year, start educating them. But the A is for adult supervision. First and foremost, the best preventive strategy is someone needs to be watching the kids. They could slip away in an instant. You get on your phone, the phone rings, the doorbell rings, and you step out for just a moment, and moments count.
Yeah.
So we like having like a designated driver, have a designated watcher. The B is barriers, have a fence, a pool alarm. You're renting a house for vacation. Make sure there's safety features in place. And the last is classes, both for you and your child, is the child should have swim lessons and can start as young as a few months. Even teaching them to flip over or get to the wall buys you those precious moments. And then should something tragic occur, to know how to do CPR seems to may have a huge difference in outcomes if someone can respond and start CPR right away.
All excellent points. And we here in South Carolina are near the beach. So do you have any specific pointers for the beach as well? I know pools are a big deal, but obviously we have the big ocean.
No. The beach is even worse, I think, sometimes, because even strong swimmers can get in trouble at the beach. There's rip currents, and just you're not used to being around that. Swim near a guarded area, always swim with someone, have a buddy, and then someone really keeping an eye on kids in the water, because even strong swimmers can get in trouble at the beach. The beaches scare me more than pools.
Okay, well, good to know. And so we mentioned obviously pools and we mentioned the beach, but are there other specific activities that have a greater risk of drowning than other activities?
Yeah, boating's another one, and different states have different laws. But if you're a child, especially if there's someone that can't swim, put a life jacket on them on a boat. Florida, it's 6 years old and below. Other states is different. But if you're out in a boat, kayak, paddleboard, put a life jacket on. It's just like a seatbelt.
Right, right. And so what are, you've given us so many great tips already, but, how do we alleviate some of the risks? You've said the life jackets, those kinds of things. Do we put the armbands on even if they're at the beach and just playing in the sand? What other things are we doing?
You can. I was weary of that because you have a little false sense of security. I think really having someone appointed to watch the kids. In this day and age, there's so many distractions, and it just takes a moment, and moments count.
Yeah. And so how can somebody learn some more information if they wanted to get, dive even deeper into your ABCs or really find out about how to do CPR so that they are equipped this summer?
So take a CPR class in your community, or there's online courses. And then there's some good CDC.gov, Red Cross, American Academy of Pediatrics, all have really good websites with good preventative strategies.
Well, Dr. Plumley, thank you so much for being here today to keep us safe in the water this summer. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great summer.
And we'll be right back, so don't go away.